Welcome everybody to our fans forum. I've never done one of these before, so you need to forgive me. But we thought it's good to have regular communications about, well, I'm trying to do regular communications through Facebook every month or two. And then we thought we'd have a session with Mitch just to have an update. And I think you know him quite well, but you can ask him any questions tonight and he'll do his best to update you on what the team's doing, the plans, etc., etc. So I think we can just, how do we normally do it? Just show of hands or something like that? Just go for it, I think. So any questions at all?
They've just gone downstairs, mate. You can do this if you want, though.
So you got any questions, just raise your hands and we'll just play it by ear.
Happy with the squad or always looking?
You can always look to improve, but to be honest, I've been offered 2 or 3 players over the last 3 or 4 weeks, good players as well, and we haven't brought them in because at the minute I am really happy with the squad. I don't feel we need to really add anywhere. The team spirit's really growing week by week, we've just seen there. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with the squad.
So I might have average now.
Exactly, yeah. You wouldn't want any more forms to fill in or add on.
Well, you can't give them an easy year.
Hopefully it's going to change.
How many players are we on so far this year, Pat?
I think it's getting close to 40.
40?
But then
There was a lot that didn't play or haven't even been involved.
Yeah, it's quite a few early doors that they're not really figured.
Yeah.
I think we're on, at the minute, we're around 24. Squad's about 24.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed in the last month, I don't think. So yeah, which is what it should be, because when you get injuries and actually on that, Mason won't be around for a while either. He's got to have some treatment, so hopefully he'll be back soon. But I'll speak to his dad and we'll keep you updated as and when. But that's again why we've got such a big squad of 24, because there's only been 2 games this season where I've had to leave somebody out of the squad, because there's always work commitments, injuries, family commitments. So it's important we've got that many players. So yeah, really happy with it at the minute.
That was sort of going to be my question, was the injury side of it. With the squad, you got covers in all positions, and how many actually have we got carrying knocks and that thankfully the last Saturday being off is giving them a week to
so we've got, obviously Mason, like I said, Mason's out now, and Righty had a knock on his knee, but he's been to see the physio this week, so he's hopefully getting a full session in tonight. But other than that, Echo's coming back from injury, but again hasn't featured for us, so that's something we can look at. He's with Newark and Sherwood at the minute, getting minutes, because he hasn't played for 18 months, I don't think. So it's only Mason at the minute that's got, obviously everyone's got little niggles or tight legs, but like you said, with a week and a half off now, we should be quite fresh for Saturday. So Musa got back from his quad injury. He was cup tied for the Saturday just gone. Obviously we found out Friday, the week before the Friday, that he was fit, but I had the squad ready already because we'd won the week before. So I said to him to go and play at Radford, get some minutes and some match sharpness, and then he thinks he might have done his hamstring. But I spoke to him the other day and he said it's not as bad as he first thought. So I'm hoping after the Vars game, because obviously he's cup tied, so there's no point in being with us. Hopefully after that he'll be back with us as well. So yeah, he's on the mend and he's just looking to get some match fitness in there.
How close would you say, bearing in mind at the start of the season, you said we're not going to be playing the way that necessarily you would want us to play ultimately. How close would you say the squad is now to playing the way that you want to see them play?
Still a million miles away. We're really far behind. With the pre-season we had, obviously I underestimated how hard it was going to be bringing a whole new squad in, and how long it was going to take to gel and then get our style of play and work on different patterns and everyone get used to each other and knowing what we should be doing in different situations. We should have been working on all of this in pre-season. With the squad we had and the players we had available, and also every training session and match we had, the most we had was 6 first teamers all through pre-season for holidays, injuries, work commitments, people not wanting to commit until they'd finished cup finals with their other teams, and it being a whole new squad, whole new board, whole new club, really, like a lot of change that a lot of people wanted to wait and see what it was like for a few months before they actually come over. So we couldn't work on any of that in pre-season. So the first couple of months of the season the results we got was purely just down to determination and work rate, really. And then the last month we finally had some training. So we've only had 6 training sessions all season as well because of the midweek games. So now we've had a run of 3 weeks where we've had consistent training, and it's slowly coming together, but still a long way off exactly how I want to be playing. Then you've got the conditions as well, obviously coming into Christmas, coming into the winter where the pitches, unless you're playing on 4G, and especially with our pitch, and it's not just our pitch, most pitches at step 5 level, grass pitches, it's not going to suit the style of play that I want to play long term on them pitches. So we've got to adapt each week. Obviously went to Belper on a 4G, you can play a little bit more. When we went to Retford, their pitch was nice, so you can play a bit more, and then when you're on other pitches, the grass pitches that are cut up, Newark and Sherwood, Harrowby, you've got to play more direct. Because if you try and play passing football out from the back, you're going to concede goals, you're going to cost yourself goals. So you've got to adapt to every game. But yeah, in terms of exactly how I want to be playing week in, week out, I think we've still got a long way to go. Anyone else?
Is Favour still about?
Favour's still about, but the issue he's had is getting back into the squad. So obviously we've had a good run of results. We're unbeaten in 8 now, and yeah, as soon as he's still coming to training. I spoke to him a couple of times about getting him minutes elsewhere because he's obviously a young lad, so he needs to be staying sharp. He's doing his own bits away, but it's just a case of now waiting for an opportunity and then taking that opportunity. You've obviously got Josh and Wolves that have been doing really well. They've been taking their chance. They've been on the bench whenever they get on. So yeah, he is still involved in the squad, but he's got to wait for his opportunity and then take it when it's there. He's missed a couple of training sessions, missed a couple of group team bonding sessions, which obviously then puts it back a little bit further.
Does it affect you about all these games we've got behind now? We've only played 18 now.
Yeah, so I think after Saturday, if all games go ahead, I think we're 4 games in hand on Boston Town, and 3 behind most others as well. So where it's going to really affect us is one, that we've missed a couple of weeks now, so we've lost that momentum, and also it's all well and good feeling fresh and that being rested up, but then comes a point where you're not match sharp and you're not in the swing of things and you lose that momentum. So that's the biggest effect now, long term, over the next month or 2. It's going to be the build up of fixtures towards the end of the season, because they probably won't add any Tuesday night games in for the rest of December and early January. So after January, we're going to probably be Saturday, Tuesday every week for another 5-6 weeks, which then means we can't train, and then that's when your injuries happen. It's relentless. It's Saturday, Tuesday with no rest. So it could do, it could really affect us, but it's always the same. Like I said, at this level, there's always games called off. I know a couple of teams last season ended up playing Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday towards the end of the season just to get the games in. The frustrating thing is we haven't called any games off here, so it's nothing we can actually do about it. It's always been from the VARs being rearranged or other teams calling it off. So yeah, it could become a problem later on, but hopefully it won't affect us too much going into Saturday.
We've got that Nuneaton game, haven't we?
Yeah, that's I don't think that's till January.
Feb. 21st of
Feb. Yeah, so we've got a long while for that, and then we've got the Boston Cup game as well, semi-final. And then we've got to add in the Hucknall game. What else is there? Hucknall,
Mance,
Gresley, and
Eastwood.
yeah. So there's 3 or 4 that we've got to add in, which will probably be midweekers. So it's going to be a busy schedule again in a month or 2, I would say.
From what you said about the squad and the style, 4th in the table, still in 3 cup competitions. How do you feel about our progress?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really happy with how it's gone. Like I said, although it's a long way away from where I think we can get to as a squad. With the group of players we've got now, I think we're at 70% of where we can get to with consistent training and being together for another month or two, working on different patterns, getting used to how each other play, getting used to how the management team, what we want them to do in certain situations. But can't really argue with it. Like you said, 4th in the table with games in hand. It's only the FA Cup that we're out of, so semi-final, quarter-final, last 64 of the Vars. If you had offered me that 3-4 weeks into the season, or even the start of the season after the pre-season we had, I would have snapped your hand off. So yeah, really pleased that we're still in all competitions other than the FA Cup, and we haven't lost in the league at home yet, which, as I said at the start, I wanted this to be a bit of a fortress. You guys making it loud, obviously it is quite an intimidating place to come, so I think we've done that, and that's half the battle as well. If teams are coming in knowing that we don't really drop points here, you've already got a bit of a head start. So yeah, really happy with how it's gone, but I do want a lot better.
I guess that brings us on to the questioning. Like you say, you've had 6 months that have gone well, but what do you want for the next 6 months? What is it that you now need?
I feel like we're doing the basics well now, which when you've got a new team, or when, as a manager, when you're coming in and you want to put your style on it, and the first and foremost what you've got to do is get a solid foundation and get the basics right, defensively, work rate, shape. I feel like we're doing that in near enough every game now. I don't think any team's come off against us and everyone, well, they're all saying, or they should be saying, that was a tough game, which is where you've got to start from. It's now, like I said, when we get onto the 4Gs, when we get onto the nicer pitches, when we get a bit of time, it is tough on certain pitches, I'd like to see more fluid football in the right areas. I'm not saying we're going to start playing out from the back in dangerous areas when we're getting pressed, but I'd like to, with the players we've got and the ability they've got, I'd like to see a bit more freedom, which me and Louis spoke about only yesterday actually, is how we get that out of the players to get, so they know what we want them to be doing in certain situations, but they've also got to have the freedom as well to express themselves, because at the end of the day, that's what wins you games in tight situations, that little bit of magic. So I'd like to see them, a little bit of creativity and a little bit more freedom and fluid football, really. That's what we'll be looking to do over the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
So the extra cup games that we've got, extra fixtures that we've got, do you see them as a bonus, not a burden?
Yeah, bonus. Bonus. I'm a winner, so while we're still in a competition, I want to win it. I've treated it the same all the way through the season. Obviously, normally the League Cup and the County Cup, some managers, some teams tend to. We rotated as well, but I made sure that it was still strong enough, and it was only rotating with the lads that maybe haven't had as many minutes as they would have liked, or they haven't had as many starts as they would have liked, giving them an opportunity to go and take the shirt, really. And while we're in them competitions, it's definitely not a burden. It's I want to go and win every competition we're in. So we've got a great opportunity in the County Cup semi-final. Again, really tough opponents, Boston. And then in the quarter-final of the League Cup, Nuneaton, I've done a bit of research on them, and I know they're a really, really good Step 5 team. I think they had 800 at their last game as well, so it should be a really good crowd there. But while we're in these competitions, we want to win it. I'd love nothing more than to lift at least one trophy this season. But while we're in all 3 of the cups, I want to lift all 3.
Given the rules in the FA Vars on postponements and rearrangements, which would you rather have? Chuck it down with rain between now and 3 o'clock Saturday, or play it?
If you, I'll give you my truthful answer. If you pause them recordings, there's a reason. But no, I'd rather get it on, because we've had obviously missing last week. I think we missed the game before Belper, didn't we? Then Belper was on, and then we obviously missed last week, and it's now becoming. It would have been, if we don't play this Saturday, we're going to be rusty, and it's a big thing in football. It's massive. It's momentum, and we had the momentum. Like I said, I think we've lost 1 game in 18 and undefeated in the last 8. So we're going into every game confident now, and we just want the next one on. So with that being said, yeah, I want Saturday to be on.
So what's the contingency plan at the end of the season when you've got that month break between the league ending and the FA Vars final? How do you keep the players sharp? We're going to play some friendlies.
Well, yeah, I'll have to call in a few favours, I think, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge if we get there and when we get there.
What do you know about Gordon?
More than I should. Yeah, we've seen 2 of their games now, and quite a few highlights, and got a few match reports. So they're a really good team. Don't let the level they play at fool you. They're a really good team. They're going to be really dangerous. I think from what I've heard, it's quite hostile there as well. I think I don't know how many fans they get, but I've heard their fans are quite loud as well. So as many of you guys to come as possible will be amazing, just so we can keep them quiet or you're louder. But yeah, they're really tough opponents. They score a lot of goals. They play some good football again. I heard their manager's interview, so I think their pitch has cut up quite a bit, which means they've had to change their style. So yeah, looking forward to it. They'll be a really good team.
Something that's been notable in the last few games, although I've been keeping an eye on it rather than actually being here, is that we've got a tendency to score goals late in games. What do you put that down to?
This is a question I've been asking. Well, me, Louis, and Tom have all been talking about for the last few weeks. Before Belper, we actually changed how we'd done the pre-match, because the 3 games before that we started really poorly. First half was really bad, and so we looked at it as a management team, and we can't keep letting that happen. Changed what we'd done before the game just to freshen it up a little bit, and obviously it looked like it worked, because the start of Belper was brilliant. I thought it was some of the best football we've played in that. I know it was only a 10 or 15 minute period, but at that point when we went 2-0 up, I thought we was going to cruise the rest of the afternoon. And then big thing, we've got really good defence, but at times the goals we're conceding are terrible, and it's very rare it's an individual mistake. It's just a catalogue of errors, but it doesn't happen very often in the game. Teams are only really getting 1 or 2 good chances against us a game, but we're giving them they can't really miss. So that's what happened at Belper. They let them back in, they got their tails up, and the same at the end of the game. Score with 5 minutes to go, get a 2-goal cushion, and you think, right, we'll see this out, happy days, it'll be easy. Straight from the next throw in, we let them throw it straight in the goal. So in terms of the poor starts have been an issue, but like I said, hopefully with what we've changed and tweaked, we can stop that. We stopped it at Belper. The last minute goals, it's got to be down to character and just the mentality. I said when I first come in that the kind of people I'd be wanting to bring in, or the majority of people I want to bring in, will be winners, and people that are lads that have won multiple stuff, not just the one-off. They've been in teams that win stuff over and over and over again, because mentality is huge in football. And I think we've kind of just created, with having the majority of the lads that have that winning mentality, we've kind of created the environment that we just refuse to lose, which is brilliant, but it is happening too often. And me and Louis have said to him that eventually we're not going to get that penalty, or we're not going to get that last-ditch header, and we might not get that little bit of luck. I don't think it's luck, because if you look at most of the second half performances, I feel like we've pinned teams in and it's been relentless, and it was just a matter of time till the goal come, because we were just knocking on the door and it was eventually going to open. So I don't think it's luck, but I would much rather us to be 2 or 3-0 up and it be an easy afternoon, because every game has been 1 goal in it, and it's been. Well, we wanted to bring Ashton on against Belper when we scored. I shouted over to get him on, and 30 seconds later we conceded. And don't want to bring a young lad on when there's only 1 goal in it with that pressure. So I honestly couldn't tell you why it keeps happening, but the thing we've got to look at is how we can stop it getting to that situation. And that's what we're working on in training. We're changing what we do before the game to try and get better starts. But yeah, I'll put it down to just the mentality and the just refusing to lose a game, which is brilliant, and that's what we all want. Anyone else got any questions?
I've got another one, don't we?
Yeah, go on, keep firing.
How well is it working for you as manager, given the number of minutes that you're playing, and as well with the position you're playing, for half of the game, you're almost as far away from the dugout as you could be.
Yeah, it's completely flipped on its head what the answer would have been to probably 2 months ago. At the start of the season, I obviously said I was going to be playing. Then we was doing really well, and I didn't feel like I was enjoying it on the sideline, and I felt like I was giving more to the team from the sideline, so we kept it as it was. And then I tried to play a couple of games where I was still doing the managing side of it while on the pitch, and my concentration really wasn't there. I couldn't give 100% to playing, I couldn't give 100% to managing. Kind of in between both, and neither performances was good enough. So again, we spoke about it, how we're going to change it as a management team. So again, change what we do before the game. Louis taking more of the team talk side of it, so I can concentrate as a player. I do the before we go out, but once we go out to warm up, then I'm a player. Then we speak at half time, honest conversations. Then we come in and we have a plan. And then again, when I go out second half, I'm then a player. I think it's better for the lads as well, because they treat me as a player while I'm on the pitch now. Whereas before, I think it was probably manager. What can I say to him? What can't I? Now I'm a player when I'm on the pitch. Me and Louis speak, and then when I'm doing the team talk, and then it's a bit different. But I've got used to it now. But to start with, it was really difficult. It was really difficult. I had so much going on, I just couldn't concentrate on either. But now I feel like we've got a really good balance, and I feel like it's working quite well. Come on, you must have another one.
Yeah, obvious one. Can we get promoted this season?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in a really good, like I said before, while we're in any competition, while it's mathematically possible, my game is to win every single game. My aim is to win every single game and win everything we're in. Whether that happens or not is another story, but while it's mathematically possible, I want to win the league. Can we? Who knows? We'll take one game at a time and see where we end up.
Surprised how Kimberley have dropped off the pace?
No, I thought they obviously had a really, really good start, and it went on for a while as well. They beat some really good teams. Obviously they play nice football. They've got a lot of young lads play fluid football, which on their pitch suits them, and on the other 4Gs and at the start of the season, when all the pitches are nice, you can play that kind of football. Then when you start going to places and it's been raining for the 3 days before, and it cuts up in the warm-up and it's bobbling and hitting your knee rather than your foot when you're trying to control it, it's not as easy to play that fluid football. So like I said, they had a really good start. I'm not surprised that they've not managed to keep that up, because it would have been difficult for any team, because they was absolutely flying. I think 15 games in, they might have only lost one game. And as you've seen, anyone can beat anyone in this league. I think Newark and Sherwood were rock bottom 2-3 weeks ago, and they beat Sherwood, who were favourites to win the league. It just shows that in this league, on the pitches and with how competitive the league is now, anyone can beat anyone. So, well, they
beat Newark.
They beat Newark Town the other day. They beat Newark Town the other day on a 4G. So again, that goes to show that anyone can beat anyone. Yeah. Yeah, not long till we play them. Any other questions?
Let's go one more. Go on, keep it going on. What sort of a difference does it make? How do the players feel? Some of these lads have previously played in front of, quote, one man and his dog. And they're here with 250, 300 people here, and away from home, 40, 50, 60 getting behind them. How are they reacting to that?
Well, to be honest, this goes back to your question before as well. I think that's one of the reasons we keep scoring late, is because there's been a couple of games where I've felt, being on the pitch, when it's not quite going for you, I shouldn't say this, but I don't feel like I could see a goal coming from us. Not sure really how we could change it, because we tried to change whatever we thought would work. and I'm stood there thinking, we're not going to get back in this. And I think you guys notice it and then get louder, and that gives you that extra boost. So back to your other question, how do we keep scoring late? I think that's got something to do with it. And it's massive. A lot of the lads that haven't played in front of many fans before, it was the biggest selling point when I spoke to them. They knew how big of a club it was. They know how many fans you've got previously, and it was an easy sell to them. They wanted to come and play for a club that's got this clubhouse, got the big stadium, gets the big fans, because who doesn't? This is why we do it. You want to play in front of as many fans as you can. But yeah, taking us back to the previous question, I do think it definitely gives you that extra 10 or 15%, 100%. Whether it's at the end of the game, whether it's at the start, and then away from home as well. Especially, there's a few clubs now that have a few fans that sing and quite loud. When I've been there before with no fans, you can hear them. But then when we're taking 80 to 100, and it feels like a home game. So it's huge. It makes. I don't think people realise how much of an impact it has, and I think it gets taken for granted sometimes by us in the changing room. You don't think about it until you've asked the question, and then you kind of think, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Or if you really look back at it in the game in them moments, or you watch it on the highlights back, and you can hear it, you're like, yeah, that is really what gives us a boost. Subconsciously, you don't sit there and think about it at the time because you're in the moment, but when you look back on it, it's massive.
The lads don't want to experience that bus ride back, do they, with the fans?
No.
If they lose, that's what it is. They like the bus ride back when we win.
When we win, yeah. Yeah, I think there's been one or two when we had a draw. There's one when we had a draw and it felt like we'd lost. It could have been the loss actually. Wisbeach. Yeah, it would have been. It was terrible. And it's expected. And yeah, that, like you said, we don't want to get on the coach with you guys when we've lost because we feel like we've let you down. Whereas we'd much rather the coach trip home from Boston. What a feeling! I want that every time we go away. So yeah, they don't want to get back on the coach when we've had a bad result.
What do you think about the standard of the refereeing then?
Do you want to pause them again? Yeah, there's been some questionable decisions, not just against us either. I don't, to be honest, I can't really recall any that have been really, really bad that have affected us. But I always try and say to the lads, and my mentality, I always look at myself first and at us first, and what can we blame? We can't blame the ref if we've lost 1-0 to a last-minute penalty because we haven't done enough in that 90 minutes to. We've put ourselves in that situation. We haven't put enough pressure on the other team. We haven't created enough chances. We haven't been solid enough defensively. Whatever it may be, you can't. I hate it when you blame the ref for one single decision, or a club that blames it. I know it's frustrating, but I try and look at myself, and if we're in a close game where a decision hasn't gone our way, I can't use that as an excuse that that's why we drew the game or lost the game, because we haven't done enough. We should have been 2 or 3 up. In my book, we should have been 2 or 3 up, and then it would have only been 2-1, for instance, if the ref makes a bad decision. But yeah, there's definitely been some below par performances this season. But yeah, like I said, I try not to focus. I just try and control what we can control.
Because last week we played Eastwood, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jono went off and they found out later on he'd been Simbi.
Oh, Cam.
Sam, yeah, sorry. Cam, yeah.
No, yeah, he. So that was. I don't think that was the ref. That wasn't the referee. That he showed a yellow card, which is obviously that is what they do when they're simbing now. So we all knew Cam had been simbing. I don't know if he knew or not. We've obviously spoke to him since and had a conversation, and it was one of the reasons he didn't start at Belper as well, because we've got standards and standards that need to be met, and the way you need to conduct yourself. So yeah, he didn't start against Belper because of that. But I don't think that was a referee. He didn't show him a red card or anything like that. But to get to that point, there was some 3 or 4 bad decisions for both teams. It wasn't just against us. It wasn't just. I heard the Eastwood when we watched the game back. I heard the Eastwood manager at that point as well. Just before then, they had some bad decisions go against them. We had some go against us. All in the build up to that happening. But it happens. It happens. I think whatever level you play at, there's always the refs get a bad rep every league, don't they? But yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think we looked it up, didn't we, after the game? The ref didn't actually follow the correct procedure for indicating the sin bin for either of Cam's sin bin or the Eastwood guy at the end.
Oh, really?
He didn't actually follow the correct procedure for indicating that you've been sin bin to the players.
Right, so okay. Oh, okay. I'd like I said, I didn't look into that or know about that. But yeah.
We're just waiting for.
Because we was looking up to see what would happen if a goalie gets sin binned, and that's quite comical.
We had it at Newark last year against Deepin. So we conceded a goal. They had another attack. I think he gave away a penalty or something, and free kick on the edge of the box. He started gobbing off, got sin bin, so he just goes off, and then the midfielder went in goal.
Yeah, but he can't go back and goal when he comes straight back on.
Can he
It's
not?
another stoppage in the game.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So the ball has to be out. Oh okay.
We're thinking.
So he can't just come back on when they wave him on and go.
No, he's got to come back on as an outfield player until the next
Right.
break of
I
play.
didn't
So
know- I
we're
didn't
waiting
know
to see
that.
Steggs come on as an outfield.
You probably stick one in the back of the net, though,
I think he was getting close to getting one at Belper. I had to tell him to keep his mouth shut.
So in general, Mitch, do you like the sin bin idea? Because it's been at step 5 for quite a few years, when it's new to us watching.
It has stopped people moaning at the ref as much. It was getting to. I think they did have to bring something in, because I know I was probably one of the worst for it, to be honest, at the time. But getting on at the ref, and it was too much, and they didn't want to book people because it might have been a second yellow, and then it was sending them off. They didn't want to just send them off. You can't just tell the manager to sub them because it's not Sunday League or roll on, roll off sub.
Yeah.
So I think it has. Yeah, I must admit I like it. I think I do like it, because at first you think it's a bit of a stupid idea, but you've got to conduct yourself in the right way. If you can't control yourself, obviously we all get frustrated at refs, like I've just said, but you've got to show some respect. And then also what I've been saying to our lot is, once the decision's been made, we've got to focus, because you concede a lot of goals when a decision's been given, you've moaned at the ref, you're not switched on, they take the quick free kick, the quick throw, whatever it may be, and you go and concede because you're arguing with the ref. So I actually quite like it. It's not very often you see them either. The refs are quite lenient with it, and again, you get the exception that get a bit power crazy, and the first time somebody moans, they sin bin them straight away. But I think it has stopped the shithousery of what was. It was getting really bad, where both teams were just trying to con the ref and getting on at the ref and putting the pressure on him. So it has stopped that. I think that's a positive about it.
Okay.
So does more now need to be done then for the coaches and stuff on the sidelines that are. Because again, we look at that Eastwood game. The Eastwood coaches in the first half gave the referee so much stick. He stopped the game and called his assistant over to ask them to stop swearing at him because he didn't feel comfortable to tell him himself.
No.
I think from my experience, from going back 20 years, I always used to try and build a rapport with the ref, because if you get on his side, he's more likely to give you decisions.
Yeah.
So you have to try and sweet talk him and keep him on your side, as well as, occasionally give him the odd mouthful. But I think the refs at this level, they're also learning the game. They've probably not been in the game long themselves, so they're learning to how they're going to deal with players at the same time. So it's a two-way thing.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more about it's the coaches on the sidelines that a lot of times are kind of, certainly I've seen it in games this season where certain vocal dugouts are almost controlling. Again, Wisbeach game, that ref gave us nothing in that game because of what the Wisbeach dugout were constantly telling him.
Well, I think the refs could send them off, can't they? It's that's obviously just down to the FA and how they train the refs and what courses they put them through. But like you've just said, you're absolutely right. I think there's been a few that have looked, I don't know their age, but they've looked really young, and this is the level that they maybe get promoted to from after your Sunday League, or they've done well at Sunday League or when they first started. I don't know the whole process of it, but a few of them have been really young. So yeah, I guess it's a case of just how the FA are training them. because they could have gone over to the Eastwood manager if they felt it was necessary and sent him off, and that would have stopped all of that. Because even our bench, if they got sent off, our bench then aren't going to be moaning because they know they're going to risk getting sent off. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a ref, thank God.
I've got one, but it's more for Nick than you. You've been in what, 2-3 years?
Who?
Mitch, as
20
manager.
years.
Pardon?
2 or 3 years playing, you mean? Or
No, as manager.
Oh, long term. I'm
Yeah,
looking long
because I
term.
mean, like most of us out followed the club so long. A manager's first season is always hit or miss. Normally the second season, his first season is building that team, which you're doing now, and we can all see you're not far off it. What we think it will be a dominating team. Okay, still 1 or 2 areas, but it's normally the second season when you take it by the wings and you pull away from everybody and everything. So this is mine. It's all right, isn't it?
Oh, definitely long. I mean, like Terry Blythe. How many
A
years?
few more years. I mean,
how long-
Steve
how many
had
years was
3
he?
years, Nils had basically 3 years, and it's always the second and third year where you've actually got the titles and that.
Yeah. I mean, I see the club needs to change, right? So we're trying to change off the pitch. Getting a lease, it's getting closer, 25-year lease. You know, all the initiatives we've been talking about. So I mean, we were both new to it, weren't we?
Yeah.
I've never done it before. He's never been a manager before, so we're both on this sort of journey together. But I see it as a sort of slow, steady growth. You know, the more we do off the pitch, because you know, if hopefully one day we get promoted, then you know, I don't know if our budget in step 4 would be pretty low. I think we've heard today, wouldn't it? Yeah. So if we're going to be competitive in step 4 and not reliant on a wealthy person, then we need to do things off the pitch, don't we? Yeah. With more fans, more sponsors, more Martin O'Neill days, and doing the stuff. It's actually not rocket science. We've all done it all before. Because I read the thing, 2013. What was it? Tony Freyer did a business plan in 2013, and you sort of think, and everything he said then still applies.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new. It's just taking action. You know. So there's not. Of course, we can be better in social media, which wasn't here with Tony Freyer and TikTok and stuff. But most of the stuff is we can do now. The only difference now is trying to get get a lease and then eventually get our own pitch, like community pitch at the back. So at the moment there's Deeping are on top, Stamford next. Then I was messaging Jake from the Links FA this week. So we want to be number 3. You know, so we get the pitch, then we can grow our walking football, grow the youth. We have to cancel 4 or 5 games if we last Saturday or something, because we can't. There's no space to play. Then we can have walking football tournaments like in Melbourne. They make £2 grand from that. So you know, you keep doing all these things. We can help support Mitch without relying on the wealthy person who does it for 3 years and goes, F that, bad enough. Then we start all over again. Yeah. So I think it's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, we've spoken a few times, haven't we, about like when we obviously new to me, new to you.
Yeah.
And we said the first year was a bit of a learning curve for both of us, and we just learn week on week and learn bits by bits. But we've also spoke about it being a long-term thing.
100%. Yeah.
What's improved this year is we're winning this home as well. We could win a game in the cup.
Yeah.
Could win a game.
Win a game anywhere.
Every week you come and we lost and people just score.
Yeah.
You know, not going to like lose every week. And that's it. And we beat it at the moment.
Yeah.
Hope it keeps going. Keep enjoying the way now.
One of the good things this year is you can absolutely see buy-in on both sides. Crowds are up compared to last year, and all the off-field stuff is up compared to last year.
Right.
You know, every match sponsored between now and the end of the season. Only the odd match ball for those poor guys that wander around on on a Wednesday night, and yeah, it's it's picking up on both sides of the ball, which is fantastic to turn it around in that respect in 6 months. Brilliant.
And that's all down to people here. It's nothing to do with me or you or Mitch. It's like everybody, because everyone's a volunteer. Everyone gives their own time. It'd be quicker if we were all full time, right? But I've got family and other commitments like everyone here. But the only way we're going to do it is if we all pull together. So it's sort of like we all need to sort of bring friends to games and support like tonight. It's well, I'm optimistic that we can. Yeah. We've got it in the blood.
You're seeing all the new people as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's not just the old supporters coming back.
Yeah.
It's people coming and that haven't been before. And we're seeing quite a lot of them now.
Yeah.
New faces.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because also volunteers. So to start with, you sort of think, oh, we'll advertise for volunteers, and they'll be all queuing at the door, right? So Anna did the advert for the volunteers, nice and pretty. Like, oh, that's good. 0, right? Nothing. Or someone, I'll get an email. Obviously, I literally call them the next second. Oh, hello. Then never, click. The wrong number or something. But then in the last 2 weeks, we've had like 3 volunteers come to us. So we got the lady that does the gingerbread man, right? Who's about the gingerbread man, and then we've got one guy doing social media. Actually, 3 doing social media. All want to help. One guy wants to help behind the bar. So I think it's more. We keep doing these things slowly doing things in the community, right? Slowly and doing the right thing. Then, people may see it and think, oh, I'll come along and, And the good thing about the club is everyone's so welcome in here. It's very, very common, Because last year, the last season when we got battered 6-1, I was talking to the chairman, last game of the season. He said, oh, this is the most welcoming club in the league. So you got really nice people here. So that's our big asset, isn't it? The people we've got. We just need more of them, and then we need to sort of keep doing the stuff that we did. Tony Frere was saying, do two or three dinners. Well, Roger did 2 or 3 dinners, golf day. I've got like 2 people. We're doing that corporate gingerbread cup. So I've got like the council contact me today. They want 2 teams in it. Another person. So that's promising. We're getting on this unity, neurodiverse football. I went to watch Stanford on Saturday. They do that. They had about 20 players. So we're going to start that. So we're slow. It's just like me and Graham with the walking football, isn't it? Oh, and it started slow, didn't it? Then now we're going to France next year, aren't we, for a tournament? Yeah. And I see the same thing happen with the unity stuff. We may start with 4 players, but then we'll stick at it, and 2 years' time we'll go, oh, they're playing in the Lynx Unity League. So these just takes time, I think. We've just got to stick at it.
Obviously, it's happened with players as well, coming to me, and they're seeing that the club's moving in the right direction, the atmosphere's good before and after games, the togetherness. Jonas, for instance, was at Sleaford, contacted us all, desperate to get back involved, without an actual role that we didn't. We obviously had Gary, we didn't have a role for him, but he wanted to be back involved. Then Cam Johnston, obviously when he went to Anstey, wasn't enjoying it, contacted me, liked the environment, liked how positive it was, could see that everyone was moving in the right direction, the atmosphere around the place. His missus absolutely loves it here, she feels welcome, just being sat in here with speaking to all you guys. So it was only one place for him to come really. Andy Wright, yeah, he was pretty much begging me to come after we played him. Yeah. After we played him when we went away. And like you said, that goes back to having 80 odd fans away, and from that moment he wanted to come and play here. So Brad Brad was obviously at Belper, contacted us wanting to come back. So yeah, it's like you said, the volunteers. If you keep doing the right things and the atmosphere is right and the club's going in the right direction and people see it, people want to be part of it, both on and off the pitch, don't they?
Yeah, there's say from a fan's point of view, there's so much more positive taking place this season from the club, from the players, that we haven't had in the last couple of seasons, that just make that atmosphere around the place so much better. I mean, like the fact that Nick, you come up every match, you say hello to everyone, shake hands with everyone. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to do that, but you always ask us how we're doing and get us involved. The players who come up for the game for a tea or a coffee, they always speak to you, ask you how you doing, how are you, and everything. It's just those little things that just make you feel part of the club, make you feel, and like I say, it just boosts everything.
Got to keep at it.
Yeah.
Get more of us. Bring your friends.
So when you've got that atmosphere as well, and the new people, like you said, a lot of new faces come. If they come and it's a flat atmosphere, no one's really getting on, no one really talks to you, we lose out there, it's rubbish football, they're not going to want to come back. But if they come here for the first time and everyone's introduced themselves, hi, how are you, it's bubbly, we're winning out there, the chairman's saying hello to them, the players say hello to them, they're going to want to come back. So yeah, it's good. That's what we tried to build. Me and Nick spoke before I come in, and a big thing was getting the community involved, getting everyone, young, old, men, women, everyone, get everyone involved, the whole community. And I've certainly noticed a big difference from the first time when we were first up here having some questions to now. It's a massive difference.
So I guess the question now, Nick, is what are you looking for the next 6 months? Because you've had your first 6 months, a bit like Mitch. What are you looking for now? What are you wanting for the next?
I think just all the things we've announced. I mean, the long-term goal is we've got 290 players involved in the club, from under sixes, whatever, to Dave. Who's the oldest guy in your team?
Is that the over six with another digit, Dave?
So I think we've got to say 290, or the pathway of the football. But there's a lot of chance to grow, right? We've got 20 walking football players. Stanford have got 170. So my goal is long term to have 1,000 people in the club. But to do that, we need our own 3G pitch at the back. So short-term goal is do the stuff that we've announced, get them all running next year, do the events, do the Unity, do the Gingerbread Cup. We work way around with Louis all of the schools. So I think we've done about 25. Do the other 15, and then so we do all the stuff off the pitch, and then we know that if we do. Well, it's out of our control, isn't it? Every week you do your best. Yeah. If we get promoted, some people say, do you want to get promoted, stay in the league? Well, it's out of our control. You do your best, and if we get promoted, we do. If we don't, we don't do it. And then whatever we do, next year we'll reassess. But my real goal is get this lease, then we can start getting grants. So we can work with Richard Perlow to get the pitch, we get grants to do the pitch and things like that, or get support. Because they're doing it, on rocket, like fume sort of thing, aren't they? So I mean, they do a great job, and the volunteers help with the water in the pitch and stuff like that. But if we get the lease, we can get grants, so they give them more help, and then we can get other grants for. I really talking to council to get the disabled access sorted. It's really, really bad. It's fucking freezing, isn't it? There's nowhere to go. But you can get grants to improve a lot of these things. But then my real goal is, off the pitch, is to get our own 3G pitch. That's what I really, really want. And then we can really go from 290 to, we'll probably go to 500 straight away. Because we could get more walking football teams, but we don't have the slots, right? We've got 5 till 6, If we got 6 till 8, I'm sure we could triple the players straight away. Then if you get the walking football, then there's a good chance that maybe 10 of them will come and watch on Saturday, right? They're paying the gate, so it's sort of that nice virtuous circle. And they buy the the scarf, bring the grandkids, da 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 da. So yeah. But I've realised when I came in, I thought, oh, it's going to be a piece of piss. You know, we'll put an advert, we'll get all these volunteers and da 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 da. Then you realise it's not, because everyone's a volunteer, and you just got to be patient and sort of. But I think by the end of this year, when we come to June, we'll have a very clear, like, this is what we're going to do next year. Like the Blue Light Day, it was good, but next year we'll plan for it and we'll get more people. The Army Engagement Day was really, really good, but next year we could potentially get 100 veterans instead of 50. So it's sort of trial and error sort of things, sort of learning curve, yeah. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm pleased we hired this guy. Very happy, yeah. He's really great to deal with. It's very straightforward and down to earth. So yeah, we were lucky to get this guy, I think, yeah.
He got that on toe.
But it's ups and downs in football anyway, isn't it? I mean, you can't. We have to. The good thing about Grantham is, like that last game of last season, fans were still cheering, right? After all of that, no win since October, battered 6-1, and then the fans were still cheering like mad. I mean, that's not usual.
That's because the season was over, I think.
That's the loudest cheer.
No, but that's the biggest asset, the fans and the volunteers. Without them, I still listen to some podcasts. Chairmen come and go. They're custodians of the club, right? They don't own the club, because the club is owned by this long 151-year history. Probably be here in 151 years' time. So we're just sort of coming for a reason. You know, I hope I'll stay a long time, but while I'm here, it's nothing to do with me. I just want to sort of have a nice legacy and sort of, okay, well, try and build the community part. You know what I mean? Yeah. You guys are the assets of the club.
We've got the under 23s out here tonight. We've also got the reserve team. Now, to me, that should be a pathway to the first team. One, also, if you've got, like say, come back to the injury, and players come back from injury, but long term, maybe getting them match fit by dropping them in reserves. How often are we using that role, or is that a future idea role?
The long term goal is that we have all the best players from in and around Grantham in the youth system, go through the youth system, go through the reserves, go through the under 23s or whatever it is, under 18s, under 23s, scholarship, whatever it may be, through the pathway, and then end up in the first team. And the long term goal is that the majority of the first team are local Grantham lads. But that's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to make sure you've got the best youth set up locally, because otherwise they'll go to what they see as the best. So it's got to be a long-term goal. But short-term, I've got a really good relationship with Si and Liam at the reserves. We've had a couple come up from the reserves with us, and we've also had Gary and Elliot have both been and played with the reserves. There's a little bit of politics, if you like, involved with. It's not if you sign for the first team you can play for the reserves. You've got to sign different forms, so you can sign for both. But if we needed somebody to get minutes and we found out that they were match fit or ready to go on the Friday night, we couldn't get it done in time for them to play for the reserves on the Saturday. And also cup competitions as well, which is when you're most likely to use maybe the reserves or sensibly with the reserves in a cup game. Like the county cup, for instance, you can't play in both. So there is a few little bumps in the road short term that we can't deal with. Isn't very helpful. But long term, we definitely want it to be where they're helping us out when we're short, and if they feel players good enough and we've been to watch them or they've come training with us and we feel they're good enough, they will step up and come up to the first team. But yeah, we've obviously had, like I said, Elliot's been and played for them. Aston was with them last season. He'll be with the first team most of the time now. Jamie Lewis as well. He was with us all pre-season, come up for a couple of games, and then had a couple of issues injury-wise, so that kind of halted his step up. But yeah, me and Si talk quite a lot every week he'll message, is there anyone you need to get minutes, or he'll let me know how their players are doing. But also, again, short term, they've got their core of players which are from where they was previously. So we've kind of got an agreement that they will stay with them, but the younger lads that come through from the youth team or from the youths that then go up into the reserves, they'll be the ones that we monitor and communicate about for them to push on to. So it'll be, again, it's small steps, but this season I think it's gone really well, but we do want to really utilise that in the future.
Yeah, that's why I think it seems so like trying to build it from the youngest age you can all the way through to a pathway sort of thing.
Yeah, that is.
I think where reserves, maybe reserves like the under-23s and maybe training together sometimes and stuff like that, so you can get that gel of, okay, with them playing for the reserves and training reserves, that's a different style of football to what the first team is, so you can't quite see if it work.
We've had 2 training sessions, I think, with the reserves. Obviously played against them once.
Yeah.
There's a couple of issues with being able to do that. One is the slot and where we can train. Obviously, whether it's on, they might be on the 3G, we might be on the pitch, whatever it may be. But then also at this level, it is hard to have. It's really going to take forming good relationships between each team. That's not just the first team and the reserves. That's then the reserves and the under-18s, or the under-23s, and then the under-23s and the under-18s. Because as soon as you don't have that relationship from the age group up or above or below, that breaks the chain, and you won't let, if they don't let the players go up or down, whatever way it may be, that then stops the next team up going up because they haven't got enough players. And at this level, that is where any clubs I've been involved in. The best development team I was involved with was Lincoln United. They had a really good relationship, and a lot of the season I was there, the last season I was there, I think we had 5 players in the first team squad that had come through the development team. But they have been building that for years. It's not something that they just decided to put in and it worked straight away. They've been building that relationship for years, and to the point where it was some games the player might have to come out and be on the bench and might not get on. But it's good for their development to be, like you said, come training with the first team because it's completely different. Get used to the lads, build a relationship with the lads. Then they might be in and just be on the bench and not get on. Then they might get 5 minutes, and then it just builds from there. So yeah, there is stumbling blocks at the minute. That's not just us. That's most clubs at this level. There's normally always a rift between the reserves and the first team. At most clubs at step 5. But like I said, long term, we want it to be a pathway where majority of our players are coming through the youth system, through the reserves, through the 23s, and then into the first team.
Can just pick up on points that you both made, obviously, which link together on exactly that. The Lincoln United devs. One of the things that I think is really good with the Lincoln United devs is on social media, the devs get almost as much coverage as the first team. Every game gets a report. There's manager interviews. You know, they really put the devs in the faces of the fans, rather than them being something that gets an occasional mention and possibly, okay, the scorelines on Saturday are great, but they've stepped it up that little bit more, which may be something that the social media guys can look at. But it also helps them, the devs, doesn't it, to feel that they are really genuinely part of the club.
And another part of it is that the lads we want in the youth system and in the reserves, they need to believe that they're going to get, if they're good enough, they will get put into the first team. But again, that's not something that can just happen overnight. That's got to be, we've got to show that, and then the younger lads of Grantham need to be able to see that actually, I'll stay at Grantham Town because when they're under 16s or whatever it may be, because I've got a chance of getting into the first team, and I want to. And then they see the environment, they see that hopefully we're being successful, they see how many fans we're getting, they see what we're doing off the pitch and the clubhouse. And they say, I want to play for that first team. And then, it's with the social media, it's something we know and we've looked at and we're trying to improve. Like I said, when it's volunteers, it is very hard as well. But that's something you want to improve on.
Yeah, because I came and streamed, was it the under-18 FA Youth Cup game earlier in the season? Yeah. And the week after that, the number of messages I got off parents going, please how do I get a copy of the match? How can I get a copy of that? Because my lad played in it. And things like that. And it's like, Yeah, how can we improve on that a bit more?
Yeah. It's on the list.
Yeah.
But it's down to volunteers.
Yeah.
It's down to that. Yeah, because we all got good ideas, but it's just someone's got to do it and be reliable. You know, you look around this room, everyone's very, very reliable, right? You say you're going to do it, you'll do it. But not all volunteers are like that, particularly new ones and things like that. So yeah, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Any questions?
One thing, don't forget Ian. Ian's got an announcement before I forget.
Raffle tickets.
Yeah,
The New Year draw on the 3rd of January. I've got some raffle tickets on sale, £5 a book. So
Right.
quite a few people in the room have already bought some, but there's one or two that haven't. So.
Name them.
I'm still waiting for Martin O'Neill to come back, by the way. I messaged him on Sunday. He's normally not quick to get back, but hopefully I'm going to follow up this week. So we should get a date for him in January. Hopefully.
Are we thinking of for the World Cup up here? The England games?
I don't know.
Screwed up and
Yeah, maybe,
watch
yeah.
the games?
It's silly not to.
Yeah, what time did they get? I've got no idea what
Yeah.
They
they
got announced the other day, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is it 9, 10
8
o'clock
o'clock.
kick-off?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm into the summer now. I'm gonna have
Yeah, good idea that, yeah.
You think you can get away with £3,000 a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what's going on.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not even be training.
Yeah, true.
After the training.
Cool. So what's the weather forecast?
75% chance of rain tomorrow in Birmingham, and then that's it. No rain on Saturday scheduled.
It should be okay then.
Looks like it's going to be on, yeah. I haven't had any. Have you had any contact from them? Yeah. Yeah, it looks. Like I said, I had a look this morning, and I think it'll be on. So.
Great. Right, thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, cheers,
See
guys.
you on
Thank
Saturday,
you.
hopefully. That was good.
Yeah. Oh.